Hey yo, Tyra Banks, you need to come back and get your show. This is a travesty. So this episode opens up with Chris Leanne and a few of the other girls, I believe Paige and Corianne as well, discussing the elimination. And poor Chris Leanne is still traumatized because she's constantly told that she's horrible at elimination, but not giving any notes. So how does that work? Anyway, then we have this weird kind of relationship budding with Marissa and Kyle. And Kyle. Girl, you gonna learn. You gonna learn. Marissa is going to be that like bi-curious person that teaches you about relationships for the rest of your damn life. Poor thing. So then Ashley Graham comes over just to hang out with the girls, and she cooks a meal with them, and she goes to this entire diatribe about eating healthy and being healthy with the model. You got to worry about the foods that you put in your body as a model. And then she cooks this like pasta dish with cheese. Like it wasn't even like gluten-free pasta. It was panzone, the real deal pasta. And I'm like, Ashley, you just contradicted everything that you said because there is nothing healthy about that pasta dish that she made them. The only thing that was healthy was probably the kale. Maybe she should have just made a whole kale dish with maybe some, parchment baked salmon. That's healthy. But that pasta with all that mozzarella cheese that you was putting on that meal, sweetie, that is not healthy. Ashley and Chris Leanne have this really sweet moment where Ashley is trying to encourage Chris Leanne. And I really feel bad for her because Chris Leanne has done so much in this competition. She has changed so much about herself to the point where I fear that she's getting to the point where she's not liking things about herself that she can't change. Most specifically her culture. Because I feel like the judges come at her culture a lot, and it bothers me because they're not critiquing her. They're coming at things about her that she can't change. Give her ideas or give her notes that she can improve upon, but don't give her these notes about things concerning herself that she can't change. And I feel like when I see her, I just see somebody that's so beaten down. And this moment between her and Ashley is sweet and cute, but it's a little too late. Like, I feel like she should have had this meeting with Ashley a long time ago because her confidence is shot. And I hope that she rises to the occasion throughout the rest of this episode, but I doubt it because she's so beaten down. Bitter Benta goes off on her roommates because the apartment or the house that they're staying at is trifling. And I understand Benta. I've been there. I have lived with some of the grossest people, women, that I never knew could exist. So I understand that frustration. I understand, her being like, I can't even walk on the floor because it's so gross. I get it. I get you, Benta, but you have got to change your delivery. You cannot start screaming at people, making these side comments, throwing insults, and then hurling curse words at somebody and think that they're going to jump. When you say jump, you made a suggestion earlier. The girls were like, okay, fine. They all agree with it because you spoke to them like human beings. Then you go off and you just start attacking people. Nobody's listening to you at this point. That's not how you get stuff done. You cannot get progress with this nasty attitude that you just hurl out at people whenever you feel like it. And you only do it to people that you feel are beneath you. Benta never goes off on them judges. She never goes off at a photo shoot. But when she gets back to their home, she cusses them girls out because, like she said before, none of them are better than me. She has this superiority complex. And honey, you want to work on that because that's just not going to fly. Especially in this nation. You're going to learn real quickly how they treat dark people with a bad attitude. So you better get it together, Mom, because that's not going to work in your favor. So then Marissa and Kyle kiss. Kyle, sweetie, run. This is why I say this. Because you are very sure in who you are as a person. Marissa, not so much. You cannot fall for someone who changes their ideas about life every hour. You know what I mean? Marissa is hot, cold, lukewarm, vapid, angry. You have to move on from that, honey, and save yourself the unnecessary heartbreak because that girl she's not ready. She's not ready for the relationship that you are trying to build, or even just the surface level relationship that you're trying to build. She's not ready, and I don't even know if she's there or if she ever will be. She's 18. Let that child flourish. Well, then we get to the challenge, which is a trampoline active challenge. And what I miss most about America's Next Top Model is Tyra. But also, I loved how she not only would help the girls, give them critiques, give them pointers, sometimes show up at the photo shoot, but she also took the photo herself. So the girls were able to get some type of inspiration. And I don't even see that here. Like, none of the judges have taken any of the photos, have shown the girls that this is how it's done, probably because they probably can't do it. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but I was just so annoyed by that they throw these girls on a trampoline, give them one picture to get it right with no instruction. All they give is this introduction about how sportswear is popular with celebrities. This is my problem with America's Next Top Model. This cycle, I don't feel like it's about fashion. I don't feel like it's about high fashion. I don't feel like it's a fashion infused show. I feel like it's a celebrity show. And that is the problem. Maybe the modeling industry or the fashion industry is taking like this celebrity turn, which I hope it's not. I haven't seen it, so that's why I have this reaction to this show, because I'm just like, Vogue have celebrities, but I mean, they're not the focus. It's so celebrity focused, this show, and it's so bothersome because I don't believe that it helps the girls. I apologize if you're hearing a bunch of beeps. I'm in a group text with my family that I cannot get out of. Forgive me. All of the girls do terrible in this challenge, except for Paige, who actually showed up. I was very proud of her for the picture that she took. I was actually a little shocked. I was like, oh, okay, Paige. Kyle did the worst. Her picture wasn't even comical. It was just dreadful. Dreadful, because Kyle is so wrapped up in the affections of this bi-curious child. She's not even concerned about this challenge or the competition anymore at this point, which is why I feel like she needs to go home. She should have went home a few challenges ago, but she's different. So Paige wins the challenge. You know why? Because she kept that damn mouth closed. She didn't give us this blow-up doll pose that the judges love so much. She closed her mouth. She focused on her face and her body. She actually modeled without the help of the judges. So I'm proud of you, Paige. Bravo, sis. Bravo. Then we get to the photo shoot, and I am highly offended at this point because the example of this active wear pic that the judges showed was so basic. It was not even editorial. It looked like, I'm telling you, it looked like a picture that would be like in a dance skin catalog to advertise dance wear. I swear that background looked like the background that is used for every generic high school senior graduation pic. It was so generic and so basic. I am so insulted, America's Next Top Model. I am disgusted. How dare you use that pic? I had to pause my TV. I was like, they did not just use this picture as an example of a high fashion photo. At the photo shoot, the models are getting ready and getting prepared. The only one who is not focused on this challenge or competition or this photo shoot at the moment is Kyle, because she's still, fawning over Marissa. Kyle, get your head in the game. You're still here, so act like you want to be here. So then Chanel Iman shows up, and I thought that was really great because the girls were honestly excited. There was a supermodel from their generation who was there to pose with them. I honestly would have loved for Chanel Iman to have come a bit sooner, because I feel like the girls could have benefited from her and just gleaned from her and learned a few things. Maybe she needs to host this, but she's probably so busy, modeling for Gucci, she ain't got the time. But I just wish that they would have had a little bit more time with her, just time at all, besides a photo shoot, to just really glean from her and learn from her, because you're throwing these girls who have no idea what they're doing, who have had minimal help and critiques, and you're putting them in a photo shoot with a supermodel, and you're expecting them to slay. So all the girls do fairly okay, and then we get to Kyle. Ashley Graham had a really strong reaction, and I was actually actually shocked that they kept that in. She's like, oh, she's terrible. And I'm like, oh, wow. What a strong reaction to have with someone who you guys were fawning over, calling a boss, winning challenges. You see what happens when you skate a person through? Because they're different? Poor cow. I think she actually could have been good, but y'all skate her through, y'all fill her up, and y'all don't give her any proper critiques. Now it's time to eliminate somebody, so now you guys are trying to gear her up to get out the competition where you never really gave her a fighting chance. This is what happens when you don't give proper critiques and you do things just for viewership and not stay true to an actual competition. Good models like Justine go home, and mediocre models like Kyle is somehow able to make it through every damn elimination. You know, I'm still pissed about Justine. I think that little girl would have rocked it. And Cherish. And Gia. I got a problem with this show, apparently. Kyle blames her mediocre performance on her affections for Marissa. I call bull. Kyle, we've seen this sloth-like photo shoot performance from you every challenge. Now the judges somehow have a problem with it, but you have been giving us, like, you know, heroin realness since the beginning. Like, there's no, like, I always feel like she's on some trip. Like, she never, like, gives any kind of life in these photo shoots, and now the judges have an issue with it. Did you see that rock'em sock'em pose that she kept on doing? It was what? So then we get to poor, sweet, precious Chris Leanne, and she's not doing well. However, I will say this. From what I saw this episode, Chris Leanne was the only one who got, like, personal coaching from Ashley Graham. Like, she was saying stuff to other girls, but I mean, she was in that ring fighting for Chris Leanne, giving her every kind of note that she could give her. It just wasn't, it wasn't transferring well, but man, Ashley, she was fighting for her Latina Ken. I'm not hating, I'm just observing. India didn't do well either. And I really felt bad for her because she had the baddest outfit, in my opinion, of the entire photo shoot. Cody came in a cute second. I like Cody's outfit as well. But I just felt so bad for India because she was not getting it. She stayed in that one little corner and just kept on punching. And I was like, oh gosh, help her! She's struggling. Cody did well. I think that she gave a lot of energy. She gave a lot of different poses. I just wish she would have slowed down because I felt like she was like all over the place. It was like the cameras are fast. Not that fast. Slow down and hold the pose for a second. Pop, pop, something. It was just... but she did good, in my opinion. We're back at the house, and Marissa and Kyle are on this couch, and, you know, Marissa's, you know, having her bi-curious fun, and then Kyle goes full-on lesbian with Marissa, and Marissa was not having it. LGBT community peeps, leave the straights and semi-straights, sort of straights, maybe straights, sometimes straights, alone! Leave them alone. I'm not talking about bisexuals. Like, people who are like, I'm bisexual, this is me. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones who are, you know, gay on Saturday, straight on Sunday, and bi-curious on Monday. You know, leave them people alone. The ones that are sexually fluid crazy. You know what I mean? I can't really... I hope I'm explaining Marissa correctly, because I feel like Kyle is sure in who she is, and she wants this relationship with Marissa because Marissa is accepting her advances, but I don't think Kyle understands that Marissa likes the attention. She likes to be fawned over. She likes to be adored. She likes the flirting, but when you want to get to, like, lesbian sex, she's not for it. You know what I mean? Because that little girl flipped out. She jumped up. She looked at the camera. I think at that moment she realized she wasn't about that life. She was playing with something and it got a little too serious for her. And she jumped all the way back because she was just like, nope. She took off running. I was like, ooh, yeah. See, this is what happens when you play with fire. You might get burned. I just really would hope that especially young LGBT people protect themselves from this type of personality, because I think like older people, older LGBT people understand what's going on here. I feel like the younger ones just get probably too caught up in the moment, and you think that something is happening, but you have to realize that especially with young straight women, that it's trendy right now for this generation to be sexually fluid and kissing girls at frat parties. But you have to understand that a lot of that is for the male gaze. You know, it's for a trend. It's to be cool. A lot of them are not. A lot of them won't claim to be LGBT. They'll just say, "Oh, I'm having fun." And you have to realize that there's, with you all being so young and so open and so free and sure of who you are, you also have to realize that there's also a generation that opposes that. And there are people in your generation that oppose that, and there are also people in your generation who like to play with that because it's fun and cool. You know, how can I explain? Like, the best way I can explain is, like, for me as a black person, coming up, there were people who were not black, but who loved my culture. So a lot of them played like they were down and all this, you know, and really into issues concerning the black community. But to be honest, a lot of them just really liked the way we dressed, the way we spoke, and our music, and just our culture in general was just fun for them. And they wore it to have a good time, but they weren't really about our life or our issues, because you get to them now being adults and they are like some of the most racist people I've ever, you know, been in contact with. So some people are just doing it for fun. And I hope you young LGBT people protect yourselves from this type of interaction with people who are not quite sure of who they are, or who are just having fun with your existence. So, my dear Kyle, protect yourself, honey. Get your head in the game and slay, please. I hope they give you notes this week. Doubt it. We're finally at judging. Cody's picture is up first. The judges are fawning over her picture that's out of focus. Like, Tyra would never pick that photo. She would never pick that photo. And remember, I told you earlier that I felt like Cody was moving all over the place. Here we are, justified, because she probably took a great picture, but she was going so fast the camera couldn't catch it. So the judges pick an out of focus photo and try to fool us and act like it's actually good. You would never see an out of focus photo in like the cover of a major fashion magazine. Why are y'all playing these girls like this? Kyle's pick, no ma'am. Paige took an okay photo, but the judges were like gaslighting her. Oh, Paige, this is great, Paige. It was okay. It was not great. Stop gaslighting her and stop gaslighting the rest of these girls, because y'all gaslit Kyle, and here we are. India's picture obviously wasn't that great. The judges, however, are saying, oh, you're in a photo with Chanel Iman and we're focusing on Chanel Iman. Of course you will focus on Chanel Iman. First of all, she's a supermodel. She has years and years of experience in doing this. And for the record, she was posing. You had India, who doesn't know what she's doing, who has not been giving any viable notes besides purple hair. And you have her in motion, and you're also telling her to pose. She has so much to deal with no help and no experience. Listen, at least she was able to get a good side profile pic in. Give her something, but don't tear these girls down, and you don't help them to begin with. Chris Leanne, bless her heart. Corianne had an okay photo, but it was the best out of this bunch. That's not saying much. All in all, this was an okay photo shoot. Chanel Iman stole the show, of course. She's a supermodel. She's well-trained. She's well-experienced. I'm, as a viewer, seeing what's been going on the past few weeks, I'm proud of the girls for what they've been able to do. I mean, out of every cycle, I feel like these girls are working the hardest, because they're inexperienced, and some of them just don't even know how to do this. And they're showing up and they're giving the best that they got with no help. So bravo to the girls. I feel bad for all of you, because I don't feel like you've been given a fair chance or a fair shot to actually slay. If any of you actually have modeling careers outside of this, God bless you, because man, this competition, it didn't set you up the way previous cycles have or are supposed to. And I feel really bad for them. The judges are deliberating, and I'm telling you, Ashley Graham, girl, you go. She was fighting for Chris Leanne, but Drew shut that down. He was like, I can see that you want her to stay because she's pretty much your story, but I just don't see her as a model. Ouch. Leanne wins Best Photo. No surprise there. It should be a surprise. It's a TV show. Like, I should know what's about to happen. The only thing I don't know what's going to happen in this show is elimination, because I feel like eliminations are producers' picks and not actually based off of the performance. Anyway, she wins Best Photo, and Cody gets like the second Best Photo. I can understand that, but it's still just like, you picked a second Best Photo that was out of focus. So Chris Leanne is eliminated, and I'm actually disappointed by that. I don't personally think that she gave the greatest performance this episode, but I also feel like she's worked the most. She's put in a considerable amount of effort, and she wants to be here. Kyle doesn't want to be in this competition. Kyle doesn't really care. Kyle is more concerned about some Latina tail than she is about nailing her freaking photo shoot. Chris Leanne really wants this. I feel like she was somebody who was also a fan, and I feel bad for them, because I feel like these girls deserve fashion, high fashion, top fashion, well-seasoned, well-trained, well-experienced fashion moguls in the industry to guide them and help them and critique them. Not taking anything away from the work of the judges. I just feel like the level of the judges that the other cycles have received, it's just not fair to give these judges to these girls. I think we need to keep it on the same experience level, because as we can see here, the wrong people are being sent home and the girls are just not getting any help. I really hope this show gets Chris Leanne some therapy. I really, really do, because y'all broke that girl down to nothing and then eliminated her. Cherish too. Cherish went through a full breakdown about her virgin hair. You guys had the audacity to dye her hair, convince her to do it, and then eliminate her. Harsh. Way harsh. Oh, so y'all casting for next season? Y'all better be casting judges. Next week seems to be interesting. It's going to be some drama with Miss Marissa again. Lord, and a dance challenge, which is always funny when models dance, because, you know, we expect them to be awkward. So I will be watching, and I will be tuning in, and I'll continue to review this show, because I'm a loyal fan of America's Next Top Model. I've been there since the pilot episode, and I'm rooting for these girls. I hope they do well after this. I hope and I pray. And I hope and pray that Tyra comes back next season. Please. Tyra, we need you. Bye, guys.